Ahmed Ahmad. Our assignment involved investigating the potential between lifestyle and academic performance among UTP students. This assignment required collecting data, one of the data information on lifestyle from 50 UTP students, which is classified as discrete quantitative data following Sturgeon's rule. We created a frequency distribution table which include class interval, class boundary, and frequency. We then visually represented the data through histogram, a frequency polygon, and OGIF. Here is histogram display the class boundary on the x-axis with CGPA, which is discrete quantitative data, and the frequency on the y-axis. Next is the frequency polygon, which is x-axis is the CGPA and y-axis as frequency. Lastly, the OGIF represents the class boundary on the x-axis with CGPA as discrete quantitative data and the cumulative frequency on y-axis. This graphical representation help us analyze and understand the lifestyle of our fellow students more effectively.
Hi, my name is Adriel, and I will be talking about the measures of central tendencies for latest GPA. Measures of central tendency can also be called averages, like mean, median, and mode, which you may be more familiar with. In our study, we have found that the mean latest GPA for UTP students is 3.67. We did this by calculating the midpoints for each class interval and then multiplying them by the respective frequencies. Then we add them all up together and then we divide by the total frequency. In summary, we can conclude that the latest GPA of the student is 3.67. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yusha Faizani and I'll discuss the median. It is the middle value of the ordered data. In other words, it represents the middle point when all the data is lined up from smallest to largest. In our case, the median for GPA is 3.71, meaning that half of the students score less than 3.71 and half score more for their GPA pointer. Understanding the median helps us to get a clear picture of the academic achievements among our group of students.
Hello, I'm Hasha and I want to talk about the mode. The mode is the value that appears most frequently in the dataset. In our research, we discovered that the mode for the latest GPA of Generation Z was 3.85. This indicates that 3.85 was the most common GPA among the students in our sample. Identifying the mode helps us to understand the typical GPA among our peers and can be useful to improve the students' academic performance.
Hello, I'm student E, and now it's my turn to discuss measures of dispersion. This measure helps us understand how spread out our variety data is. In our case, we're interested in how much is the latest GPA varies among our group of students based on their lifestyle. Variance and standard deviation are two common measures of dispersion used for dataset. Variance measure how the individual data points deviate from the mean. In this case study, the variance obtained is 0.0684. It quantifies the spread or variation in our dataset, showing us how the latest GPA of students differ from their daily lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Iman Alia, and I will be talking about the connection to standard deviation. To find the standard deviation, we take the square root of the variance. In our case, the standard deviation is 0.2615. So the standard deviation provides us with a measure of spread or variation that's easier to interpret because it is in the same units as our data. A higher standard deviation indicates more variation, while a lower one means less variation. Both variance and standard deviation are valuable in understanding the variability of our dataset.
So to conclude our presentation, I would like to share our overall findings. So first and foremost, majority of the Generation Z students have gotten 3.81 until 4.0 for their latest GPA, which there are 17 students. And the finding reveal interesting pattern in the lifestyle choices of the students' population. The maximum number of meals students typically consume per day is kept at 2. When it comes to weekly exercise, majority of the students engage in physical activity only occasionally. And the data on sleep duration per day indicates a predominant mode of 6 hours, reflecting a common sleep pattern among the students. Additionally, the mode for the time spent studying per week is 7 hours and above. And we believe by prioritizing healthy lifestyle, students can improve the quality for their performance.